I should totally start a YouTube channel. Who you? YouTube is for extroverts. You know, people that are just always bubbly all the time. Your introverted self could never. Your Instagram is even set to private. How are you going to share videos of yourself when you can't even share pictures? Who are you kidding? Really? You're more of a blogger. And anyway, what do you have to say that hasn't already been said by somebody else and probably been said way better? Look at all the top YouTubers and how far away you are from that level. Why even try? Also, you're an accountant and you know what they say about accountants. And what would the people you work with think? You're trying to be a serious finance professional here. Plus, you're a whole mom to a 2-year-old who works full-time. Where do you imagine you're even going to find the time for this? And you know, all the people crushing it on YouTube are in their 20s and teens, right? Nobody is checking for YouTubers in their 30s. Wow. And that, guys, is the first challenge that I had to overcome when starting this YouTube channel. The voice of fear or imposter syndrome telling me all the many reasons why I couldn't do it. That inner voice can be really savage, but clearly I didn't listen, and I'm glad that I didn't. So a few months ago, despite having all the uncertainty in the world, I took the plunge. I recently heard Rory Vaden say something that rings so true. Fear is so self-centered, meaning it's rooted in self-preservation. Thinking things like, how will this make me look or feel, especially if it doesn't work out how I want it to. The other thing he said is that there is no fear when the mission is clear. That really hit home for me because the reason I started this YouTube channel, which is more on the educational side rather than the entertainment side, is because I learned so many useful things from YouTube. When I want to learn something or improve something, YouTube is one of the first places, if not the first place I go to. So I really rate all the amazing and free education and content I get on this platform. I was really attracted to the idea of starting a channel that's mainly focused on educational type content, on stuff that I'm passionate about. Putting out content that is hopefully serving people or helpful to people in some way. So far, the main focus on my channel has been talking about personal finance, which is one of those topics that I'm so passionate about and I could talk about forever because it's such an important topic and one that I really think we should talk about more. But because I want to have an impact in that way, I can't be too scared to show up. Fear has to take a back seat to the mission. The other really helpful thing that I learned here on YouTube, in fact, about how to reframe imposter syndrome is that rather than seeing imposter syndrome as a signal that I should retreat or run to the familiar which feels safe, I should instead recognize it as my mind and my body's way of giving me a warning sign that perhaps I'm lacking some knowledge in this area, or there's something I need to work on and improve, which will help me feel more comfortable in this space. Now, when it comes to the second challenge, imagine spending hours and hours planning a party, putting your heart and your soul into all the details, the menu, the decor, the venue, the invites, and then nobody shows up. That cricket sound right there is the soundtrack of a new YouTuber's life. And honestly, before I started a YouTube account, I severely underestimated what it takes to create content and to post consistently. I really thought it was easy, but wow, have I been humbled. It takes hours to plan, to script, to shoot, to edit. Oh my goodness, the editing. It's so much fun, but so much work. Really, you get tested on your commitment to grow on this platform. Don't get me wrong, I started learning how to edit when I started this YouTube channel, and it's such a fun and creative process, and I like to think of myself as a creative, so I really enjoy it. And I've really only created my channel in the last few months, and I have less than 10 videos uploaded at the point that I'm going to upload this video. So I'm not complaining because I know there are thousands of channels that have been at this much longer, they've put out much more content, and they're still struggling to reach the 100 subscriber mark or 1,000 subscriber mark. What I am doing is acknowledging how hard it is to keep showing up, to keep creating, to keep putting in the effort into your videos and making them better each time you upload. It's hard when you don't yet see a lot of evidence that your content is resonating. That's why you really have to enjoy the videos that you're creating and make the process of creating videos as fun as possible. Otherwise, it's so easy to give up. YouTube totally requires resilience. As of 2024, there are more than 113 million YouTube channels, and only 10 million of those, which is 7.7%, have more than 1,000 subscribers, and only 321,000 of these channels, which is less than 1%, have more than 100,000 subscribers. So resilience is something that you really have to learn to tap into as a new YouTuber. Now, being Zimbabwean, I like to think that resilience is something I naturally have in spades, but YouTube is really testing that resilience. The next thing I'd like to talk about is being willing to put yourself online. Now, this discussion might be more relevant for my fellow introverts. This was a really big hurdle that I had to overcome before starting my channel. I remember a few years ago, a friend of mine and I were in a space of wanting to start creating content online, and she wanted to start a YouTube channel. And I was so excited for her and telling her things like, oh, this is so great, this totally suits your personality, and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, I'm gonna start a blog. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with blogs, but the only reason I was leaning towards starting a blog rather than a YouTube channel is because I didn't think I had the right personality type for YouTube. What even is that? It was just a crazy belief that I had that there was such a thing. Now, of course, YouTube is a proper melting pot that is a proper representative of society. There's space here for everyone from all sorts of backgrounds with all sorts of personality types. But for years, I had bought into this limiting belief that had stopped me from pursuing something I truly enjoy. So some years back, I started a blog which was all about personal finance, no surprises there. But I eventually realized that I had to get comfortable with creating video content because that's how I consume most of my content online. So it only makes sense to be more invested in that type of content creation rather than trying to grow on a platform that I don't even really consume myself. The internet can be a really harsh place, so it takes a lot of bravery to put yourself out there. But hey, we did it. I finally made it out the group chat. Now I just need to figure out how to stay consistent. The next reality or challenge I would like to talk about is really skills-based. There are so many skills that you have to learn as a new YouTuber, especially if you completely don't have a background in anything like writing, when it comes to writing your scripts or editing, especially because for the vast majority of people, in the beginning, you're doing everything yourself. You are the script writer, you are the cameraman, you are the editor. But the main skill I'm going to talk about in this video that caught me by surprise as a challenge is camera confidence. Now, this challenge really caught me off guard because I never expected speaking on camera to be as difficult as I found it at first. Even now, I'm not fully there with it and it's something that I'm still working on. But yeah, I was not prepared for how weird it felt sitting and staring into a lens, needing to carry on a conversation like you're actually talking to someone. One day I might be brave enough to show a clip from that very first attempt when I tried to talk on camera, but I hope you'll get just how bad it was by the fact that it took me weeks from that first attempt to actually then shoot my first video. I mean, it was a total mess. It just felt so unnatural. Honestly, experienced YouTubers make it look so easy. I just never thought it was such a big deal or a skill that I would really need to work on. I just thought I'd turn the camera on, start talking, and it would just flow. So I have a lot of respect for really good YouTubers who manage to make it look so casual and so effortless. It's something I really thought was an amateur skill, but wow, I was really wrong. Even learning to watch yourself on camera is something that takes some getting used to. When you start to watch yourself back on camera, you start to realize things about yourself that you never realized. Like, I didn't know I made all those weird facial expressions. Or, is that how my voice really sounds? Really, it's a journey of self-discovery. But it's one of the things that I do enjoy about YouTube. It allows you to see yourself in a new light and explore aspects of yourself that you may have never realized before. So here's to continually working on mastering camera confidence. The last reality or challenge I'd like to talk about is just life. When I initially started my channel, I was in between jobs. Then at the beginning of the new year, I started a new job as a senior finance manager. And I expected that, the first couple of months I'd be settling into the new role, and that I'd maybe struggle to do videos for those first maybe 3 months. But wow, that's another challenge I totally underestimated. Settling into a new role is always challenging, especially because the nature of this role is something different than what I was doing before, but it's also just been so extremely busy at this new job. So much so that I haven't uploaded a new video in like 6 months. And I never thought I'd be struggling to find time to continue with YouTube like this. But between trying to juggle a new challenging full-time job, being mom to a toddler, being married, and just being a human who always has a ton of life admin to get through and relationships to maintain. It's a lot. I've struggled to get into a new rhythm where I can still continue shooting my videos, and it's been so easy to let YouTube be the thing that slides when I have too much going on because I'm still new at it. My channel doesn't have a big following yet, so it doesn't feel like I'm doing anyone a big disservice by not showing up consistently. But actually that's not true, because I'm doing myself a disservice by not getting to do something that I enjoy so much more often. I'm trying to find a more sustainable way to do it so that I don't go months without uploading. Every process of making a video is so time consuming, from ideation to having a video ready to upload. And part of my struggle has been with editing, because editing traditionally takes a lot of time anyway, but I always wanted to put like extra effort into my editing, because I really enjoy watching videos that keep you engaged in creative ways. But I totally underestimated how much time it takes to try and do creative editing, especially when you're a complete beginner and don't know anything about it. So one of the things I'm going to try and do going forward is to simplify my style of editing so that I don't have to spend hours and hours on one video. If I keep up the level of editing I've been trying to do, I'll probably be lucky to get 2 more videos out over the rest of this year. And I know I'm saying this in a video where I've started it off with a clone of myself, but going forward, I'll tone it down. I'm having to learn how to fight the urge to edit my videos the way that I'd want to, and just get happy around putting out videos that may be less engaging, because even those videos are better than no videos at all. Those were some of the realities of starting a new YouTube channel that I wanted to talk about today. Bottom line is, it's a lot more challenging than I ever thought it was. It's so easy to judge and think that YouTube is so easy, but really I've learned that it's not like that at all. So I have a lot of respect for people that are trying to grow a channel, trying to build a following, and that keep showing up even when the results aren't coming quickly. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and hopefully you'll be seeing a lot more of me more consistently as I try and figure out this YouTube thing. See you in the next one.